we had a crazy sale that took place, not our sale, but in the comic community. I'm kind of speaking for us all because when something like this happens, it's a moment. We all talk about it as if we knew the person. And sometimes it's kind of like, hey, I know a person that knows a person that knows the person. Like that happens a lot. I personally have no idea because this is a threshold of monies that is so extravagant that it had me stunned. The most expensive piece of original comic artwork sold this week, and it's the same title, well, kind of the same title, same superhero, specifically Spider-Man, that holds the title of most expensive comic book sale that happened in the last year and in comic history, as well as original art piece.
Yeah, so you're comparing the AF-15.
Amazing Fantasy 15, the first appearance of Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
And that sold in a 9.6 last year for $3,600,000.
Yep.
Okay. And we're comparing that to an interior piece of artwork, what was done by Mike Zeck.
Correct.
Of the reveal of the black costume on Spider-Man, I guess.
In Secret Wars number 8.
Which sold for what, 3.36. So, I mean...
$1 million, Jeff.
Yes.
That's a lot of green.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. Almost $3.4 million.
Wow. That's a lot of dinero. And first off, I wanted to preface this conversation with what we're really dealing with. Because I personally, and I want to hear your thoughts about it, what's your gut reaction to that? Because I think that's too much money.
Yeah, that's such an obnoxious number for this interior page. I get there's historical whatevers, but honestly, there's historical covers all the freaking time, and they don't get anywhere near this number. So I don't quite understand how this ever achieved it. Yes, I get, people were bidding whatever, but if it becomes one of those investment group situations where it just falls into investment group and they just wanted it to add to their portfolio, man, I'd find a new investment group because that's just stupid waste of money. For 3.36 or 3.4 million, just to make it easier, you know how many other black suit Spidey interior by McFarlane's I could have purchased?
That's exactly where my mind went. And that's why I wanted to preface this conversation with what we're actually dealing with. Spider-Man dons the black suit within, it was like 7-8 months prior to Secret Wars 8 in the Amazing Spider-Man run in issue 252. And just weeks later, so soon in like real time back in the day, that 2 other issues came out featuring him in the black suit that many believe all 3 of these comic books to be tied. You have Marvel Team Up 141 and Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 90 with the cool Black Cat cover. Secret Wars 8 would come out near year end that same year, and we would find out how he got it. But in ASM 252, he just comes back and he's wearing it. You'd figure that out later in the year how he got it, but it's because of comic books. So there's a huge amount of time where he's been in the black suit long before the origin tale is told. And the origin tale is the page that just broke those records. I don't value that page as much as I think the investors probably did.
Yeah, let's just say it wasn't investors. Let's just say it hit.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
I would be surprised too. Let's just assume it was 2 people going at it, okay, who really find this to hit a soft spot in their heart from their childhood. Is that potentially possible? Sure. Is it more possible that maybe some investment groups got involved who don't know what the heck they're really doing and just trying to put their money in absolute top tier pieces of artwork and comics? That's probably more likely. I just think they overdid it on this and grossly overdid. Most people thought that if this piece hit $1 million, that would be an unbelievable feat. So to go to 3.4 million, it doesn't make sense. Now, listen, I know a lot of these people. I know the auction houses. I don't know who bought this piece. I know who bought the Action 1 in that same auction, that same day.
Give them some perspective.
From what I understand.
An Action 1, was it a 6.0?
It was a 6.0 white page. It was called the Rocket Copy, which was recently discovered. It's got a little rocket stamp, which I really did enjoy. It was kind of a nice addition to the book. For some reason, it added to it. And that sold for, I believe, 3.18. I think somewhere around there, almost 3.2. We just had an 8.5 sell last year for 3.25, I believe. So whoever bought that 8.5 just had a huge comeuppance. But that makes sense to me, and that's justifiable. You get it. The Action One started off comic books, basically.
First appearance of Superman,
right?
Superhero, really?
Yeah, and started off the Golden Age, which then spun into every other age we have now, guys. So he pretty much brought comics to us. Very important book. So what I was saying is, listen, there's been discussions of potential shill bidding here and there, but I can't imagine that's the case here. There's been discussions of that, but that's a lot of money, to have run away a long time ago. So it just feels like we probably had people who were just bidding against each other who really wanted this piece. And will it cause other pieces to go up in value in a black suit? I don't think so. I don't think this levels the playing field for all the others. I call this such a massive anomaly that it's so far off basis that I can't imagine it actually affects the others. And if it does, not to that extent.
Yeah, I think it would be very important information if there were investors such as Heritage involved. We know that information has been public, that they've been investing in certain video games that broke records, that made its rounds in mainstream media. So there is a level of interest I have in that for that exact reason. Is this an actual art dealer? Is this a business? It's fine if it is a business. Investors get together, they pool their money together. But is it with a goal that's beyond what that one item can do for an investor and more about the industry, such as the original art market? Because you're right, I don't think black suit Spideys are going to be affected as much as just the art market in general be looked at again as, this may be the opportunity now to bring more to the mic. Let's actually have some dealers who have been holding on to things, such as this original page. I believe this was owned by the person who acquired it a long time ago. They've been holding this piece for a bit. Probably took some motivation to bring this out in this market right now. And that is something that I would be concerned about. Is it artificial to a degree? Is there a bigger purpose for bringing this to market than just a standard Action One would be?
Yeah, you never want to see some corrupt manipulation, which I don't really think
alleged.
Alleged. Which I don't think that's necessarily the case here at all. So I don't want to throw anything under the bus.
Which we're not doing. I have no reason to.
Yeah.
Beyond what has already been public. You can do a Google search, Comic Fam.
Yeah, I'm just mentioning and addressing it because these are comments I get on my Instagram. These are comments we get on the YouTube about this type of stuff. And it's out there, so let's just address it now. I don't feel that's the case. Will this bring attention to art? Probably. I literally had a family friend of mine call me. Okay, he does construction work and only works with excavators. Okay, big machines, as blue collar as it goes. Knows nothing about comic books. Called me today to let me know that he saw some sale of some art piece on the way here driving. So it does affect it and bring attention to the market. And yes, it'll probably help in some degree. I just don't think it's going to spike McFarlane Black Suit Spideys to the $1 million plus markers now. It doesn't make sense. This just doesn't make sense in so many fashions. And so that's why it's hard to wrap your mind around it, right? Because we don't understand this dollar amount. So for us, it's different. It's hard for us to wrap around it. But if I had money that had to be spent for an investment and this was what was chosen by multiple people, yeah, maybe you just keep going and going because that's what you do. You plant your money in something that's going to give you more interest than just having it sit in the bank with nothing. So have your money work for you. So maybe that's the mindset here. And it's just hard to relate. So it's hard to wrap our minds around it.
Comic Fam, I have to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this original piece of artwork that just sold for over $3 million? Don't forget, it'll enter you to win a giveaway.
Starting the auction off at $1 for 1 minute, like we always do.
This is one of our favorite covers, and you got it.
A little bit of that, what y'all been looking for, right? A little bit of that, what y'all been looking for, right?